Alright. Hello guys. I'm I'm finally continuing Necrobarista after having gotten it around half a year ago and then never touching it ever again. Last I remember we were in an underground. Not necessarily fighting ring, but sort of a underground fighting ring type of feel. But yeah, we've got a lot of debt apparently. And there's Maddie. I do remember some of the characters and all that. So it's like atrociously hot today. I could use a coffee. Oh. Look at you, turning into a responsible human being. Oh, studio mode is not available. You can now speak to Kishan to access studio mode. Okay, I don't... Ooh boy, sensitivity on this is not... Controls... Turn that way up. Even with it, max isn't that better. Okay, as much as I would want to read all these extra blurbs, my throat will die trying to read all of them. So... I will not. Hello, Maddie. Can't go out there yet. Studio mode? Oh, there's Kishan. I believe. Yes. Kishan is, quite peeved. Alright, let's continue. Hopefully, I changed audio levels, so hopefully I'm not too loud compared to the game. And hopefully I'm not blasting out anyone's ears. Day 2, 5 PM, outside the terminal. Oh. You right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. Mind if I join you? Go for it. Oh. Dury? Hmm? You want a Dury? Sorry, Dury. Coffin nail. Cigarette. You want to smoke or nah? Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Thanks. No worries. Where are you from, then? Huh. You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Oh yeah? Whereabouts? Smith Street. Bit pricey up there these days, isn't it? Bet you like your avo toast. Huh. Piss off. I've got housemates. Well, nah, I know what you mean. Bit odd. Being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. Ned certainly knows what it's like to get used to being dead. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I understand. Do you? I reckon as much as anyone can, yeah? Right. Hey, what's avo toast actually taste like? Huh? I've never had it. Can't you go out and just eat some? I'm sure Maddie could whip it up if you asked. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust them one bit. Plus I've got this whole situation. Oh, so that's what the straw's for. You got it. So what does it taste like? I don't know, like avocado and toasted bread. Avocado is kind of cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas? Huh, definitely better than mushy peas. Love me a bowl of peas, mate. One famous Australian outlaw requested peas with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged. What, 'cause they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. Gonna zap me with your death council powers? First off, it's the Council of Death, not a death council. They're totally different things. Secondly, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of her fingers? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah. But you don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly is all. Harassing cafe owners to settle their time debt isn't something we like to do often. So you just keep the peace? As frickin' ironic as that sounds, yeah, Ned keeps the peace. Dude, I know. Want another? Sure. That's right, this is his final day. The shot is pretty. Oh. Miss Maddie. I love the sunrises here. They're alright. You watched many sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. Even semi-immortals need their sleep. Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. Feeling optimistic all of a sudden? No, I still feel like shit. Huh. What about you, Kashan? Oh. Kashan? I don't feel great. I'm still having a lot of trouble, You guys, I'm dead and I've only got a couple of hours left before I have to go, and I don't think anyone here really properly understands what it likes to see your last sunrise without ever having any idea of what comes next, and that is really freaking terrifying. And I'm never gonna see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just gonna pass on and I'll never know how they'll remember me or mourn me, or if I'm even gonna be remembered as a good dude who tried his best, or if I'll just be forgotten in a year. But that good dude who tried his best couldn't even win a freaking game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that's practically sits on the banks of the Styx as far as I can tell, and god, I can't even tell if that matters? For the Styx low? High? I can't tell, so I'm disoriented, and I'm trying so desperately to feel something, but all I feel is that I'm slipping away with every second, and I'm losing myself by degrees. That's incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, pick up. Actually, I came out to apologize for that. The game. Oh, for God's sake, Maddie, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Kashan, I shouldn't have taken that time from you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. It's different this time. That's my business. I can't believe you're still swindling people out of hours to try and fix your debt. Dude, I know. It's bloody undignified, and it's a clear violation of the rules. I will banish you right now, my man. I thought you stopped playing that crap once you took ownership of the cafe from Che. You really think this is going to help you pay this debt? Yes, absolutely. And if you got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I'm all ears. Should have never granted you and Che those licenses to practice. No. The actions of reckless necromancers make a pretty good case for the importance of occupational licensing. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have the licenses, Bushman? Given your history, the hypocrisy I display here is astounding. That's all behind me, and you know it. Where's Kashan? I've been working on doing some good for the last 100 years. With the council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important? Sure do. I don't need you moralizing at me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. But I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it. This is really pretty. I'll be inside. Wait, frick. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kashan. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about all this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave. Walked the land for decades, evading the council. That's a crime they call revengeancy. Stand too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of booting me straight to the next place for some eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he wouldn't be going to heaven. Sorry, that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. It's interesting enough. Nah, I'm just filling empty air. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddie right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. And you might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you. You think so? Maddie wouldn't have offered the hours back if there wasn't something different about you. Plus that kid Ashley seems to like you, yeah? I guess. She just kinda dragged me off and got me to hold her screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on, go inside and say hi. I got some business to go stick my nose into anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit? I've got some questions about the council. Ooh. Of course. I won't be out for long. Aww. Later, mate. Aw. Hey. Yo. Do you want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference. If it's okay, I prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley? And me too, I guess. You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still for a minute. Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. Is this a part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? Shut up. Thanks. And watch carefully, and no matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of the regents required and... you probably don't care about that. True. Alright, yep. This time I give this time freely and without coercion. As above, so below, I maintain the balance. Ow. I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel? I actually feel better. I feel less itchy? Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, right. Why does Ned get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The council are a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us. That's fascinating. Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight dicks. They don't seem so bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of their ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations on manipulating life force and certain standards on the treatment of spirits. There's gotta be a more inclusive term than human rights for all of the not quite human entities that are floating around. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines, despite his blustering. I gave them back because I felt bad, that's all. Oh neat, so you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No dude, it's not like that at all. Nah, you don't need to clarify, I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth, moving on. Fine, sure, I'm sorry. Sorry, gotta serve this customer. I'll help. Really? It's probably not a 2-person job. Sometimes 2-person working on a task will be less efficient than 1. Sometimes Kashan doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Someone else? Day 2, 6 p.m., the terminal. Phew. Anything else that needs doing? Nah, I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them. You need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way, you'll find it eventually. Cool, be back in a minute. This is a pretty shot. Oh, Che and Ashley!
Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles!
Rook and Castle both offer protection for their defending team, but Rook seems to be more popular.
Nothing!
Yeah? What's this then?
Ah! My castle! Brought low by my own hubris!
No, it was just a pawn. And maybe a little bit of hubris. When Chase sees Ashley thriving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. Maybe it just makes him the right of confident.
Bishop! Knight!
Ah! Your other castle, and check.
Check, you say?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
You activated my trap card! Oh hey, Maddie, come check this out!
Huh.
I tricked him into a false sense of security!
Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver her that hard? Yes, I'm very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was inside me all along.
I freaking love winning! I should try doing this more often.
A chance win at chess. Could grow into a big winning streak, you know?
You wanna play with us or something?
I should really head back down to the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they'll know where to find you. How about I grab a solid drink? Make sure there's nobody waiting down there, and then we play something. Won't be 5 minutes.
You actually gonna come back this time? You never come back.
I'll come back. Promise. Why don't you pick a game while I'm gone? Let's find something, Ashley. What do you feel like playing today?
Something with lots of dice.
The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice. Dice it is. We'll see you in a minute, Maddie. 6:15, Ashley's workshop. Ooh? What's this? Oh, what is this?
And that's why the 4th season of Row Battle Royale was an absolute betrayal.
But you still want to be on it one day?
Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up.
Like in wrestling?
Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show. I want something like that.
You could probably put your own local league together if you worked really hard. Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle them.
Human-controlled robots are boring, though. I want to give them more of that spirit juice and put together a bigger Ashling.
Veteran necromancers will advise that spirit juice is not something to play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best way to learn. How big?
I think I'll start at car size, then move on to more of a bus-adjacent form factor.
Huh, I'm not sure we have enough to power one of those. You'd have to get Maddie to source you a large amount of it. Liters of it, at least.
Aw. That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was illegal, though?
Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know won't hurt him. He'd lose his head if we knew half of the things we were doing around here. I don't know. He seems fairly lenient with you, right? He wasn't always like that. A long time before you turned up, he nearly shut me down because Would you believe it's because I sheltered a criminal? Ned literally shut you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are? Trust me, the irony was apparent. I found it very, very funny.
What sort of criminal were they?
Just a minor demon on the run. Oh. Most demons aren't lucky enough to find someone as welcoming as Che, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. I don't know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere. Heh, that's metal. It was extremely metal.
How long did you manage to hide her for?
Oh, not too long. Maybe 6 weeks? The time flew by, if I'm being honest.
Why's that? Was she from the clock realm?
No, nothing like that. We, bonded.
Magically? How'd you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddie that sort of thing was impossible between things on this plane.
Ooh. No, not magically. We were... ahem. Uh-oh. Lovers.
Ew. Yuck. Kill.
Ah, happier days. I love hearing about when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Old and boring?
Definitely old.
Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring. There's the patented Maddie charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yeah, charms, hexes, curses. That's all on your account, old man. Huh, I won't deny it. Oh? Hey, Maddie. Hey dude, having trouble finding the kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere. It's just behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. I told you, I checked everywhere. Nah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum hallways that they exist. Fine. How long are we going to keep him here, Maddie?
Ooh, we're keeping him?
No, we're not keeping him. I'm going to let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point. Feel sorry for him? Weirdly, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude.
I like him!
Huh, do you like him because he's nice? Or because he was good at passing your tools over?
Yes.
Don't get too attached. He's not gonna be here forever.
Well, duh, I know how it works. I'm going to enjoy having him around, just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happened.
Actually, that's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that.
Same. I'm used to people moving on is the point. I can deal with it.
Uh-oh. Good. Day 2, 6:30 p.m., the terminal. Ooh. Oh, there's Dad. Ooh. No! Huh. You gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or nah? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book, as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah, I don't want to go. I know you've probably heard this from, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. Given the amount of traffic the terminal gets and how long it's been open, 1,000 people is a pretty low estimate. It's not about staying around for the people wanting to go back to my old life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds. Like, I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point of worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe? No. All this. I guess you'd call it a plane? Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to stay. Sure. Did Maddie give you those hours back? Yeah, why? Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit. Half here, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours, though? There's only so many you can get from consenting beings, right? The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how'd you do that? How'd you create life from nothing? The answer is that you can't, Kashan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that, no matter what they're doing, good or bad with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety, something that separates us from, well, people who can't do that. That's where the idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they're just dickheads. Anyway, if you can take the life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted. It feels gross. If it didn't, everyone would take it. Consequences be damned. How are you feeling today before Maddie took the hours back? I felt like I was slipping away. Like my mind was really foggy. It's scary to run when it's foggy. You don't know what you might be running towards. Ooh. It was really hard to think, or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed though. Typical. I imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like you're a collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying. Right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How would I stay otherwise? Well, you could always go on the lam. Just run for it. But you'd catch me. Not me personally, but yes, the council would, eventually. And that's it? That's my only option. Perhaps. Depends on how you feel about bonding your soul for eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice. The downside of neutral arbiters is that they're never on your side. I have no strong feelings about it, one way or another. Spartars. Huh. Would you regret it if you stay here forever instead of moving on? I don't know. That'd be up to me, right? How do you mean? In the end, how I feel about taking a big branch of my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I'll regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, that's probably better for me, yeah? Sure. You don't sound convinced. I'm just ambient on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work, though. You have to act in the best interests of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest. How'd you learn to deal with it? Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddie being one of them? Ugh. Habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Che. I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we've chatted a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life forces as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. A lot has changed since the day Che was a young man. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60, man. Yep, much older than that. Wild. We're getting sidetracked, though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You've been out for nearly 25 hours. You're overdue. Put it on Maddie's tab. Huh. Okay. I assume you're not going to stick around forever. Unlikely, if the few next hours are anything like how I felt this morning. I'll stick around till you have a solid answer then. Cool. Wanna get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah. Che told me about something pretty special he's got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he's probably offered me some. And even then. So you tried the bottled soul? You pulling my leg? Nope. You've gotta be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, actually, I have seen it. That's quite illegal. I expected better from him. Damn it. So are we gonna drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it, or force the owner to dispose of it. Ned doesn't steal anymore, he just seizes assets. It's a completely different thing. We'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude. Che said it'd knock you flat. When you say you, do you mean me? Or you? Or just anyone who drinks it? Anyone. It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's technically not possible, but I'll admit, my interest is piqued. Well, let's not waste any more time. Oh my god. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically. You in? Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing dead people can't get alcohol poisoning. Ayy. To bureaucracy. Huh. To bureaucracy. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yo. Your orders arrived. 3 days late, mate. We got held up by a mutual acquaintance of ours. Ah, shit. That'd explain why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour. Ooh. It's been locked end of the line. Wonder what Maddie's up to. Oh, it's the bots! The catabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point, and in the stories they usually come back, which is the bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe had a bunch of heroes come though, claiming that they were going to conquer hell and come back. They never returned as far as I saw. The idea of catabasis is that in this grand scheme of things, hell or the underworld, or Hades, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's on the outside of wherever we are. Like we're trapped inside the sphere and we leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask sometime if I ever meet one. But perhaps we're just waiting our entire lives for this, to pass through the firmament to the next place. To be driftwood that washes up on the shore of whatever the next place this actually is. Seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possible that this world isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's anything like heaven and hell waiting for us. No judgment either. The world doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. That's just flawed human thinking projecting onto things that are much, much more complex than they can ever perceive. And I don't think that's what's waiting on the other side. Oh, wait. And I don't think what's waiting on the other side is even something that we can conceptualize. I bet it's cool. It's a shame that it's a one-way trip, though. Alright. That was a lot of reading. Time for me to take a sip of water. I don't blame you. Maybe one day I'll be able to stop blaming me myself, too. Can I speak to Tua and Hannah to experience the side story, Walking to the Sky. I can't go out there. There's inventions. Yeah, if I try and read, like, everything, my throat is going to literally collapse. And I will not be able to talk the rest of the stream. How do I get in? Oh, there's people up there. Hello, I'd like to get back into the cafe. Can't go over there just yet. Maybe I have to read this. Okay, as much as I would want to read the entirety of that, I think my throat would give out if I tried to. Addie's inbox. Oh. Let's check the side story. Huh? Hey little guy, wanna play? Fetch. Maybe you'll have an easier time grabbing this. What else do we have here? He ran his hand along the shelf and found another object to throw, a flat dull ring of metal. Catch! Yo! The bot took its prize and left. Oh, hey. She quickly broke eye contact and her eyes started scanning the floor as if she was looking for something. Tuan, not wanting to bother the girl, turned back to the shelf. She clearly had come upstairs looking for something, and it wasn't a conversation with him. Still, she seemed interesting, and he kind of wanted to talk to her. But again, she wasn't taking the initiative, so neither was he. Her attention was directed towards the floor, not him. So he was surprised to hear her voice again. Hey. Yeah? I was just wondering, did you happen to see a ring here? A ring? Like a... Oh, like a ring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took it off and left it here somewhere. No, I don't remember seeing a ring that looked like that. She hadn't exactly described the ring to him, he realized. Are you sure? It's just a simple metal band, no fancy etchings or anything. A metal band? Not like a Metallica kind of metal band, but you know, like a piece of jewelry. Tuan suppressed an urge to get into a well-actually argument about a heavy rock versus metal, and just which side of the divide Metallica fell on. You mean, just a metal ring? Yes, I'm looking for a metal ring that looks like a metal ring. Like, kind of like a washer, right? But smooth? I guess? Tuan's blood ran cold as he recalled the object he happily surrendered to the bot just minutes earlier. Hi, Silvers! Yeah, I think I saw something like that. There was a little bot up here playing with some metal objects just before. One of them looked kind of like a ring. Oh, great, is it? Oh, you don't need to. It's no problem. I could swear it was just right around here. It wasn't. Sorry, I think it may have run off with it. Oh, you don't need to apologize. I mean, it's not like it was your fault, right? Yeah, haha. He mentally cringed at the way he said haha instead of laughing like a normal person. Well, thanks for checking. I'm gonna go see if I can find that bot. It's me. I'm sorry? I mean, it's me that's gonna help you find that ring. Oh, that's not really necessary. Tuan couldn't tell whether she simply didn't want to impose, or whether she really thought she didn't need his help. He decided to shoot his shot. I've got nothing better to do, and I know this place pretty well. You're new here, right? Let me lend you my limited knowledge of how this cafe is laid out. If it's not an imposition, I'm happy to help. Give me 1 sec. Okay, sorry about that. My room is like burning hot, and I needed to grab a fan, otherwise I was going to like melt. Yep, summer temps. And I don't feel a difference at all. I even have the window open. And I'm going to, like, perish. To be honest, she was imposing a little. Then again, the situation was mostly his fault.
Well, cool. I appreciate it.
I don't think I got your name, by the way. I'm Tuan.
I'm Hannah.
It's raining. There's a thing right there. Oh, they walk at different paces! That's cool. So does this ring of yours have any special significance? Special gift? Some kind of sentimental value? He hoped it wasn't. It's kind of a reminder of who I used to be. Back when I was going through my whole goth phase. I used to wear 10 rings every day, if you can believe it. Just have one. Now I just have one. Hang on, goth phase? Yeah, you know, goth rings. It didn't last long, though. Turns out going full goth is super expensive. I guess I was drawn to the idea back then when I had a brief obsession with death. I also wrote a lot of really bad poetry. Pretty cringe, eh? It's not that cringe. Can't judge a person by their poetry. And I was never a goth, but I've been to a few emo concerts in my time. Sure, but you can go to emo concerts, so I'm not sure... Oh, sure, but you go to emo concerts, so I'm not sure what you're a good judge of what's cringe or not. I mean, the lion's share of bad poetry is definitely written by teenagers. Speaking from experience, huh? You got any old Tumblr blogs I can look up? I bet you reblog some real deep MCR gift sets. Don't worry, I'm not actually going to try and find it. You've got plenty of chances to embarrass yourself in real life. Keep the shameful posting hidden. Burn it if you must. I just don't think it's a bad thing to have written shitty poetry. The whole thing trying to find beauty in death thing feels pretty childish looking back. My emotions were turned up to 11 thanks to puberty. But I think there's more to it than that. I remember how it felt becoming an adult and not being treated like one, still stuck in the kid-friendly version of life. If you live out in the suburbs, everything is so sanitized. It feels fake. And teens run in the opposite direction of what's fake. We embrace the darkest things we can find, which tends to be death. I guess as teenagers, we don't usually have to confront death. Tuan kept his voice low, out of respect for the other patrons. He knew enough about the cafe to understand that not everyone was here to have a deep conversation about death. Oh? Maybe not. I guess you could say I'm an exception. You want to ask a question, don't you? But you're not sure if you're allowed. That's a big assumption. Am I wrong? I'll take that as a yes. And I'll take your continued silence as further confirmation. Okay, you're not wrong. I just don't want to make you uncomfortable. The feeling's mutual. You're not sure you're allowed to ask, and I'm not sure I'm allowed to tell. You're definitely allowed to tell. Sorry, I don't mean to sound pushy. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. You don't have to treat it like a question that needs answering. Not a question. More of an invitation. Right. My mom was diagnosed with leukemia when I was 13. My father typically vanished as soon as he found out. I spent the next year dealing with crippling abandonment issues, not to mention the constant dread. There's more to the story Tuan could tell. But this was Hannah's story to share, if she wanted. That's heavy. Thanks for trusting me with it. It was a dark time. But that stuff's all buried deep in the past now, never to be seen by anyone else ever again. Unless if you count my old Tumblr, which I forgot the password to, so I guess that'll be out there forever. A monument to my shame. I think you could send a takedown request. The site has to honor it. They send the message to the blog, and if it doesn't respond, away it goes. I wasn't really looking for a solution to that problem. But your advice sounds pretty useful, actually. I might give it a shot. I'm really good at offering unsolicited assistance. For example, one time this girl came to me looking for a missing ring, and I told her I'd help her find it. Wow, cool. I hope the story ends with you actually helping her find it. I, don't actually remember how the story ended. But I think the big plot twist happened when we decided to study the bookshelf. Like the bookshelf we're standing in front of? Just so. Can we stop now? I appreciate the commitment to it a bit, but the ring's not here. The bookshelf had a few nooks and crannies a bot could hide in, or hide a ring in. Are you sure it's okay to move stuff around like that? It'll be fine, as long as you don't sneeze. Is it really that fragile? Oh yes. The shoebox ROG is not a plane known for its sturdiness. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I caught that. What's this thing called? The shoebox ROG, short for Rise Off Ground. It's a classic, capable of self-sustained indoor flight for up to 40 seconds. Don't tell me you know every model on these shelves. Nope, just the balsa wood airplanes. Ooh. When did you become such an expert? Summer camp, I guess. I guess preteen boys just find that stuff fascinating. I sure did, and I'll carry that obsession to the grave. And there I was, worried I missed out on something important by never going to summer camp. Actually, you kinda did. I'm sure that the physics of a rubber band powered airplane. No, I mean like the other stuff. I'm not a big fan of archery or netball either. You really think people remember summer camp because they got to play with bows and arrows? I always figured learning how to fish or shooting arrows meant to be some kind of delightful experience. Sadly, it's something I never got to enjoy. The bows and arrows are probably the least interesting part of the archery station. The fun part is going to the archery station during your free time and running into a friend and saying, "Hey, I haven't seen you since breakfast." Breakfast is a really important time of the summer camp experience, huh? Well, yeah, it kind of is. We're all sharing breakfast at the same time in the same hall. You get to see everyone. To think I could have been inviting my friends to breakfast this whole time. If only if we had arranged to meet at an archery station. The arranging is the part that misses the magic. It's, you know, serendipity. That's the good bit. Right, so you get to summer camp to have I can read, I swear. Serendipitous encounters with your friends? No, I didn't know one the first time I went. Oh gosh. Then how did you wait, pain. Serendipitously encounter all these friends. You just kind of make friends while you're there. Sounds like hard work, starting from square one. Actually, it's not. Crammed all together at summer camp, you fall into friendships like it's natural. You meet loads of other kids, spend every waking minute with them, and then never see them again. And that's fun? Knowing that you'll lose these friends when you eventually leave? Yeah. When you've only got a little time together, you really go all out on making the most of that time. Anyway, it doesn't look like the ring's here either. Good news is that there's still more ground to cover. That's good news? I preferred it for a small radius. Search radius would be a little smaller. It'd be worse if we didn't have more places to look, right? If it's not here, no need to keep digging around. You're the first person I've met who seems to see good in expiring relationships. I think a part of me is afraid that all mine are temporary. The opposite of that is much worse. For example, when someone new moves into your neighborhood, it's like, oh, we should have them for dinner sometime. Sometime is meant to be next week, but then it turns into next month. And you keep putting it off until eventually you've spent years living next door to people you know nothing about. There wasn't a sense of urgency to the relationship, so it never evolved past how do you do's, you know? Like those people in your life who are always there. You take it for granted that they'll never leave, and forget to enjoy the moments you have together, and then you wake up and they're gone. The best friendships I ever had were the ones with a built-in expiration date. You've thought about this a lot. Yeah, I guess I have. Is that why you enjoyed going to emo concerts? Sounds like a great opportunity to make a friend. Spend a few hours with them, and then never see them again. It was kind of a one-time thing, really. I usually listen to music when I'm on my own. I still have the Fall Out Boy album I listen to every night while I cried into my pillow. Year 8 sucked. The music was that bad, huh? The lyrics made me feel the pain and futility of my own existence. A lot of my early teenage years were filled with the sense that nothing meant anything. When I listened to that album, it felt like I was staring into the abyss. The music wasn't bad either. Oh, good. Because taking shots at Fall Out Boy is fighting words. But I'm still wondering, like, if the album made you feel like shit, why did you keep coming back to it? I actually enjoyed burying my face in my pillowcase and loudly sobbing as I'm overwhelmed by a creeping feeling of existential angst. I get that some people get a good cry from time to time, but I think you might enjoy existential angst a bit too much. No, you misunderstand me. I said I enjoy burying my face in my pillowcase and loudly sobbing as I'm overwhelmed by a creeping feeling of existential angst. That's the name of the third track on the album. I genuinely can't tell if you're lying or not. Lying or simply bullshitting. If I'm just trying to entertain, then it's not really lying. Maybe parody or satire or plain old storytelling. Satire doesn't work if it's indistinguishable from the truth. That title isn't an obvious exaggeration. I'd expect that from them. What if I told you my favorite song of theirs was actually I'm Like a Lawyer with the way I'm always trying to get you off? I'd assume you were trying to flirt with me because there's no way that's a real song. And you assume it's a flirting attempt, why? Well, it's suggestive. If I had to describe it in one word, I'd say it's lewd. And if I told you my favorite Fall Out Boy song was Bang the Doldrums? Crude. I've got a dark alley and a bad idea that says you should shut your mouth. Rude. This ain't a scene, it's an arms race. Food. Our lawyers made us change the name of the song so we wouldn't get sued. Well, that's all there is to see of the Mizane. No ring, no bot, so I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful. Don't be silly. You'll help me check all the nooks and crannies. And besides, you get me company. Frustrated searching becomes a heck of a lot more enjoyable when you're hanging out with an alright guy. Huh, nice. Could be, yeah. That's a solid theory. You gonna come with, or are you done? Are we done looking for now? What if we, and hear me out there, what if we did not do that and just looked from up here instead? I've done enough walking for now. You wanna sit down? Nah, sitting's overrated. I'm really into leaning against things. It's a new hit thing. You're terrible. Yeah. This place is pretty cool. It's alright. Interesting crowd down here. All types. Which of course means we've got that one guy sporting the blazer hoodie combo. Like, hey, look at me. I'm so cool, but also super chill. Wow, you're one of those guys, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just dunk on your fashion pump paramour? Nah, those kinds of guys can be real douchebags. But what if he wasn't? He wouldn't be wearing the blazer hoodie combo? No, the blazer hoodie combo is something he has a deep sentimental attachment to. His father left when he was young, leaving him only his grandmother to look up to as a father figure. When his grandfather tragically passed, Blazer Hoodie's older brother took that place. He loved his older brother, who ran track and was the coolest jock in town. The blazer was all he had left of his grandfather, and the hoodie was his brother's last gift before heading interstate for uni. But his brother was killed in a sudden car compactor accident that winter, and he never came home for uni. So whenever our boy finds himself feeling lonely, he puts on his grandfather's blazer and his brother's hoodie, and he goes out to drink to their memory. Have you been waiting to use that this whole time? Nah, I just like to think about other people's inner lives. That's what I do on the tram. When everyone else is buried in their phones, I'm people watching. Damn. The only way I can get myself out of the house is by telling myself nobody's watching, nobody cares, they're all in their own little worlds. And you? You've ruined my day, you brigand, I'll never rock free again. I don't see you. They see whatever they want to project onto you. That guy down there? Maybe he's just a douchebag. We all have our theories, and those reveal more about us than anyone else, don't you think? I've never thought a day in my life, and I don't intend on starting now. Clearly. Look, it's easy to play on stereotypes saying that guy dresses like a wanker. But where's the fun in that? People aren't always what they seem. I like coming up with dark and macabre backstories, just the worst stuff. Darker than the ones you just told? Yeah, but don't worry about it. Come on, you wanna? No, I'm not going to. Sorry, it's one of my rules. Some people find healing in sharing dark thoughts. But I don't think I'm great at gauging what's good for me when sharing. I end up oversharing and then I spiral and spiral until I'm in a bad place. So, no stories for tonight. Are you wondering if you're allowed to tell? Because I think we're at the point where you shouldn't have to wait for me to ask. My role isn't to protect the audience. It's to protect me. And buddy, we're still at the point where there are still questions I'm not going to answer. That doesn't mean I'm bothered by you asking. I mean, there are always going to be topics that aren't on the table, but you won't know until you ask. That's a good way to look at it. And here I was, worried I ruined the mood. I've never shied from a somber mood. A mood getting dark and serious doesn't mean it's ruined. After all, some people like it dark. Yourself included? Hey, you can't have light without darkness, right? Sounds like a Fall Out Boy lyric to me. Good thinking, though. That's why I start every day with my hands in the toaster. The rest of the day feels amazing after that. I grew up north of Brisbane. Do you know what the weather like is there? Nope, but I do know that I like talking about the weather to get away from unpleasant topics. With the hair physics there, it's not all there. It's downright tropical. Not a bad day in sight. Good weather all year round. Stormy days don't exist for the purpose of this conversation. But some days it'd be bloody gorgeous out, and I'd go for a walk and see nobody out. Just a total ghost town. Sounds like a lame place to live. Yeah, kinda. Thing is, without bad weather, there are no good days. Every day is the same. It's boring. But here in Melbourne, nobody sponsors a good day. After winter, we're clawing at the walls for a hint of sunshine. Oh. And that's your case for a dark and melancholy conversation. I mean, if everything's at a 10, it might as well be at a 1. There's no scale. I think I'd be perfectly happy if I only ever saw the happy parts. It's a contradiction, isn't it? The people most obsessed with finding happiness always seem to be the most unhappy. Well, duh. They're so obsessed with pursuing happiness because they themselves don't have it. The opposite of happy isn't sad. I think it's emptiness, or a general lack of feeling. You know, comfortably numb. Like, clinical depression isn't just about being miserable all the time. You're not in a constant state of sadness, or like a constant state of nothing. Speaking from experience? That's a personal question. And I was hoping for a personal answer. You don't get to wax philosophical about your emotions, then suddenly clam up when I'm the one asking you about them. A medical condition goes a little beyond the realm of talking about emotions. Let's just say I'm no longer medicated. For clinical depression. No longer, as in, you were at one point. Yes, that was my extremely subtle implication. Great. Let's dance around the subject. I love that. Why make it easy? You really love talking, huh? Is that a complaint? Not at all. It's just, you don't come across as quite so outgoing. I wasn't always. What you're seeing are the results of an extensive, self-inflicted deprogramming effort. That's funny. I guess I can kind of see it, but I did want to assume given that you're... It's okay, you can say Asian. If you're trying to deduce my childhood based on stereotypes of second-generation Asian kids, you're not far off. Growing up in a household where being well-behaved was synonymous with being quiet and out of the way, you tend to end up pretty meek. Huh. When you talked about Asian parents, I was thinking more about, like, academic achievement. Oh, you're not there either. Many immigrant parents, when they want their son to be more successful than they are. But my mom was an MD and my father was an OD. And I'm not quite sure what's supposed to be another level above that. Oh, sorry about your dad. No, Doctor of Optometry. It was a big disappointment to my mother's parents, who were hoping their daughter would go for an ophthalmologist instead. Huh, that's embarrassing. I know it sounds like joking, but my family's the strictest of the strict. Like, graduate second in your class, then have your mother tell you at graduation that you could have been first if you hit the books harder than a bit harder level strict. Dang, walking talking stereotypes. How dare they? My mom never dropped that shit on me. On our drives to her chemotherapy. Nah! Well, goodbye, Tuan. Woof. I can't beat that. What? You mean you don't want to spend the day dwelling on the worst achievement, the worst moment of your life? Come on, dredging up childhood traumas is everybody's favorite hobby. Where's your sense of the macabre? Usually I have to pay to dredge up my childhood dramas with someone. Alright, I accept cash, card, and signed photos of Brenda and Yuri. Alternatively, we can just talk about happy things instead. How do you like cats? All cats are bastards. Agreed. So much for happy thoughts. But they are happy thoughts. Cats may hate me, and I hate them, but I like looking at them. That's probably my spiciest take. Tuan was enjoying the easy rapport he'd found with Hannah, something rare and precious. But with that thought came this sudden sense of panic at the idea of losing this feeling, of losing... Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Felt a bit uneasy on my feet there for a second. This place, it kinda does a number on you. You can say that again. This place kinda does a number on you. It was a lie. The anxiety in his chest, clawing at his lungs, wasn't an affliction brought on by his presence in the cafe. His fear of loss just made him like the rest of the patrons. Sorry I've wasted so much of your time. What? You don't have to apologize for that. If we're spending my time, then I guess I'm spending yours too. For a moment, the two said nothing, simply enjoying each other's company. Hey, are you... Shh. Can you hear it? Hear it? Oh. Oh! Is this your ring? That's the one! Great, guess we're done here then. Yeah, great. I'll, see you around? Sure, see you around. Chuan watched her go, forgetting how quickly she dismissed her. His mind raced, searching for an excuse to call her back and continue their conversation. Was he meant to yell something like, "Hey, you got spaghetti on your sweater?" With every step she took, the warmth in him faded, until she was gone and he was left empty and cold. Damn it. Ah. Aww. Man. Pain. Tuan loved darts. People were hard to understand, but a dartboard was simple. Circles and squares, and a sharp little missile thrown bare, handed by him, a self-proclaimed dartist. He honed his skills on school nights, while his parents were too engrossed in their work to pay attention to him. It was a relatively quiet game when played skillfully, so it never made enough sound to draw their ire. What started as a distraction was now a secret love. Secret, because what self-respecting teenager played darts? But he was not a self-respecting teenager. Not in the slightest. Yo! Hey, I haven't seen you since breakfast. Oh hey. You know, that would only make sense if we'd actually had breakfast together, right? Shut up. You some kind of chain-smoking darts hustler? I wish. So you're not gonna teach me how to play? Nah, I'm not really any good. Dude, you just hit 2 bullseyes in a row. Yeah, that's the problem. Each segment of the board is worth a different number of points. You start with a fixed number of points, usually 501 or 301, and then you throw darts to deduct the amount from your number. The trick is... Wow! All my interest is gone, instantly! How'd you get so good at that? Practice. That's the full extent of my darts knowledge anyway, so you're not missing out on anything. And besides, there are far more interesting things around here than the dartboard. More interesting than a dartboard? This day just gets better and better. Then follow me. Where are we off to? What is it they say? Show don't tell? Or are they going to the underground? Oh no, this. Where are you off to? This isn't our final destination. I have something cooler to show you. If you're talking about what's at the end of that catwalk, I've been there before. I came in that way, actually. The catwalk's not interesting. Then where are you going? Going down. You think you're funny? Often. But you know when you just want to eject yourself from a conversation? When you find yourself in a social situation that you can't wait to get out of? Wow, rude. No, I never get the chance to make those big grand exits that I'm always dreaming about. Sometimes you just gotta seize the moment, or whatever. You'd rather make a dramatic exit than keep talking? I allow myself to do it sometimes, as a treat. So now what? Making a grand exit wasn't the only reason I jumped down here. Oh, so that stunt wasn't the main attraction? You want something interesting? I'm just trying to deliver. Oh, what's that? You can jump down. I don't have the feet of an athlete. Bend your knees when you land. It'll soften the landing. The impact force will travel from your feet through your hip bone. You're real eloquent when you've gotten a captive... the English hard. You're real eloquent when you've gotten a captive audience, aren't you? Yes, young cricket. Don't lock those knees. The more you say, the less inclination I have to listen. You talk in paragraphs, my dude. Whatever. Hup. My method works. Oh? What's this little guy doing here? These are the little wait bots that make up for the lack of employees in the cafe. They're different. I love it. Do you think it climbed down here on its own? That's not outside the realm of possibility. I wouldn't bother it. Try and stop me. We probably shouldn't mess with it. You sure? Someone probably left it here for a reason, and now they're gonna come looking for it and find out that someone bopped it. How would you feel if you were bopped by a giant fleshy creature? What? I'm just saying, this is a weird spot to find a bot. It might have been put here to do a specific job.
I think it's bored. Can we take it with us?
I really, really, really think we shouldn't. Oh, she's pouting.
Fine.
Oh, it's water? Is this what you wanted to show me? Nah, this is still the journey. Oh, cool. We'll get there soon enough.
Is it safe for us to be down here?
Does it matter? We're young, indestructible.
What, because we're young and we have to take risks?
If the danger exists, I simply close my eyes and pretend not to see it. But for real though, I don't think there's anything down here that hasn't already been stripped for parts. So we probably won't trip into a giant shredder or anything.
Or be crushed by giant bouncing logs.
If I see one coming, I will pretend that I don't, so you can enjoy the surprise.
You're so thoughtful. Come on.
Last one there's a rotten egg. You don't even know where we're going. Watch your step. You don't want to trip. Didn't you say something about ignoring danger? I mean, I'm not an idiot. You could have fooled me. Rude. Actually, given the amount of jagged rusty metal I'm seeing around here, we should probably be at least a little careful. Hannah? Oh jeez. What are you doing up there? Be careful.
Looks safe to me.
You never know what could be unstable or ready to collapse. I just look in the mirror for that. Okay, but for real. Why'd you bring me here if you were just gonna chaperone me to death? We're not at our final destination yet. Oh? Then what are we hanging around here for? She should be careful. So much dangerous around here. Jagged rusty metal. Tinnitus, probably. It's not gonna poke through your souls, hopefully, but try not to land on it with your face. Noted.
Am I being too much?
I should note at this point that I'm very bad at evaluating risk. Wow, really? Shouldn't have followed you down here. I'm gonna have double tetanus by the time we leave. Not aiming for triple tetanus? I tried to keep my expectations modest.
Is this it?
Yeah, this is it. I need to drink more water.
What's this?
If this is meant to be more interesting, I have bad news for you. This hallway tells its own story. Well, it's too dark to read. There's just nothing happening here. Why hasn't anyone taken the time to make this place nicer? Maybe the interior designer was into rustic industrial. There's no accounting for taste.
What a cop-out. There's no accounting for taste?
Hey, the human mind is complex. How am I supposed to know?
The human mind is complex.
Okay, Einstein. Well, Einstein was primarily a physicist, not a neuroscientist. Wow, you must be a killer with parties. Yeah, Chicks Bigby. I guess I can see it.
Hold hands! Hold hands! Hold hands! Hold hands! You've been getting along so well! Hold hands! Damn it!
Careful, don't hurt yourself. Do I look like someone who's worried about hurting himself? You're looking more like one of those tour guides who has to walk backwards everywhere. They're not known for being prone to accidents, are they? You never know. I have this friend who was touring uni campuses. His guide was so distracted by walking and talking that he toppled right into a fountain. And what's more... Nice. Don't say you told me so. I shouldn't laugh, but well, here I am. Laughing. At you.
Great job, little buddy.
Can I pet this one? Yeah, I guess.
Aya!
Oh, it's got your finger! Why did you do that? Why did I do what? Tell me it was okay to pet him. I thought you wanted to pet him. Yeah, I wanted to, but I wasn't asking for your permission. Oh. Oh, it pinched her finger. I thought she was playing around. Oops. You just seemed really bothered when I said not to touch them. The other times, I mean. I didn't need your permission. I was asking your opinion. You know, since you seem to be such an expert on this place. Like, hey, any risk associated with what I'm about to do? Help me make an informed decision? So imagine my utter shock when I actually listened to you for once and it literally got bitten for my troubles. I'm sorry. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't want to disappoint you by saying it would be a bad idea. Stop being a coward. Tell me what you think, not what you think I want to hear. I'm sorry. You're forgiven. But that little milk bottle shit isn't, pitching bastard. Hey, that little milk bottle shit tripped me first. Yeah, and it was hilarious. Well, I hope you've at least learned the dangers of backwards walking and talking. I have. But how about you? Definitely not. Ladies and Hannah, we've reached the final stop of this nondescript hallway. You're really gonna keep saying nondescript, Mr. Doesn't Own It Thesaurus? Dull, sterile, boring, boom. There's no better objective, in my nondescript opinion. Ever read any Lovecraft? Half of his monsters were so scary that his narrators couldn't describe them. He really took the easy route with that one. Who did? Lovecraft. Wait, that was his real name? Yeah. No wonder he was like that. What else would a guy with that name be known for? Crafting. Love. You got me. Oh, the store? They emerged into a storeroom, shelves stacked with dusty jars full of mysterious glowing liquids. Hannah wondered briefly if any of their contents were edible. Where are they? The liquids are glowing. Ah, why are these all the way out here? Try reading the labels. I can't read whatever language that is. It's Latin. Casual flex there, smarty pants. I have an ad hoc understanding of Latin words, phrases, etc. I'm going to kick your ass. And you would be justified in doing so. How long were you holding on to that hilarious Latin joke for? Since I read it on the internet. I wanted to understand the lyrics of One Winged Angel, so I was doing a bit of research. Latin nerds love their wordplay. Can you actually read any of these labels? None of them say Sephiroth, so no. All I can tell you is that if you see Memento Mori, you probably shouldn't drink it. Is that the Latin word for poison? Remember your mortality. Oh, I am very aware of my mortality, thanks. So why the obsession with this particular song? It's from a video game. When you played with your friends? Nah, single player. I'm not good at connecting with my peers. And I thought we were connecting pretty well. You think we're peers? Because it appears you're out of my league. Aw, shucks. It's true. 3 cheers for low standards. Hannah's eyes sparkled when she laughed, and for once, Tuan struggled to feel anything but warmth. Yo, check out that one! That one? I told you already, I can't read it. Yeah, but look at it! It looks like there's something trapped inside. Creepy. Should we do something about it? Why are you asking me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whatever's in it wants to get out. I'm not sure it's a good idea to mess with this stuff. What if it's a genie or something? No, Hannah? Oh no, is that the sound of impending, litigation? Either way, I can't stop you. Well, I guess I can't stop you either way. Oh!
Thank you.
A warm glow suffused them both, and then in a heartbeat, it was gone.
Did you hear that?
I think so.
Did
Do you think we did something we shouldn't have? We? 2 hands touched that jar and they were both yours. You were at least an accomplice. I get the feeling we unleashed something. I got that impression as well. Was it a mistake? It was gonna shatter on the ground anyway. I don't think we changed the outcome of that situation. Well, even if we did set an evil spirit free, I'm glad we came here. I'm glad he came here too. You ever get the feeling like you've already committed to a decision, but you're not sure if that it'll lead to something great or something painful? Are we still talking about the jar? Yes, definitely. Let's get a move on. Britton's. Sure, our final destination's right there here. What's over here? What is this? A train station? Tuan's heartbeat thundered in his eyes. Ears. Afraid of heights? I think it's perfectly natural to be a little spooked when confronted with something that could be lethal. Lethal? Nothing to be afraid of. Scared me for a second there, hotshot? Oh yeah? He felt an absence when she withdrew her hand. When I thought to myself, I hope he's falling for me. This isn't exactly what I had in mind. But like, that doesn't seem pleasant, the fall. I mean, why jump if you don't have to? The gut-wrenching fear only lasts for a second. You get used to it. I can only imagine. What I want to know is why you felt compelled to do it in the first place. I just wanted to feel something. Sometimes horror movies just aren't enough. I get it. Yeah, it's just, you know, like I said earlier, better to feel something than nothing sometimes. Is that downtown? I think so. But I don't really catch the train into town that often. I don't recognize anything specific, but the Yara is there, so the rest of the city must be too. Reckon anyone can see us from down there? Dunno. The city looks so different from up here. Yeah. It feels lived in. Most cities do. That's why they're cities. People live there. But some cities just seem sterile, you know? Housing estates and golf courses and toll roads on a grid. Everyone commuting to their office job in a skyscraper that's the same as all the other ones. This one's pretty to look at. Is it safe to sit there? Look, if I can step off this platform, it would be crazy for me to shy about letting my legs dangle over the edge. Sitting here like this reminded Tuan of being 7 and swinging his legs staringly over a balcony edge with his friends. They got yelled at it because it was dangerous, but the association stuck. It had been a long time since he had felt so carefree. At a glance, Melbourne's sprawl seemed vivid and meticulously detailed, but the more he tried to pick out the individual features, the more his vision blurred. From up here, everything ran together like unmixed paint. Everything was just an indistinct part of a larger whole. I thought I'd be able to see my house from here, but I can't. Actually, I can't recognize anything. I know it's Melbourne, but it feels like a dream. Do you think we're dreaming? I think I might be. You could be a figment of my imagination. Huh. I was thinking it was the other way around. I suppose it's all about perspective. Considering how many dreams end with the sensation of falling, this is certainly an appropriate pace for it to end. I don't really want it to. Me neither. Hold hands! If you brought me here if you just brought me here for us to stare longingly into each other's eyes, we could have just stayed down in the cafe. I'm just enjoying the view. Very funny. So when are you going to hurry up and make a move? Yes! Yes! What took you so long? Far easier to say something clever than to say something sincere. Yes! Yes? Oh? Aww! I lied to you earlier. About what? Remember when I told you about my mom's leukemia diagnosis? How I was 13 years old and my dad left us because of it? Yeah, I remember. It wasn't the whole truth. She wasn't the only one who got the diagnosis. This hair isn't mine. 6 months of chemo wasn't kind to me. I felt like a fraud every time I wore someone else's hair, so I bought this from a costume shop. If I was gonna lie to the world about having hair, it might as well be something dazzling. Can you say something? Please? I guess it's not a surprise. You only make fun of people when it's trivial stuff. When you started cracking wise about cancer, I started getting the inkling that it wasn't about someone else. That obvious, huh? Not at first. But I feel like I've gotten to know you well enough by now. You interrupted something. Yeah, I was going to. I know. If you still want to, Sorry, mood's dead. My fault. Needed to reset the scene. How about we go for a walk? I think that helped. I like this duo. As the last vestiges of the terminal faded into the distance, Tuan realized that they were entering a world of their own construction. There were no rules here. They were well and truly free from everything else. He didn't know what they were walking towards. But in the end, did it really even matter? For a fleeting moment, Tuan felt oddly at peace, despite everything. Hannah had trusted with him with her true self. But with affirmation came fear. Fear of what came next, of the moment after that, of the one after that. He closed his eyes, suddenly finding it hard to breathe. Hannah's gentle touch on his back pulled him back into reality. Are you okay? I'm fine. It's just an anxiety attack. Don't worry about me. Just? Was it the height? From sitting on the ledge? No, they never happen when I'm there. Never. It's only when everything's fine, when everything's safe. Because when everything's good, I know it only takes one bad moment to bring the whole house of cards crashing down. Was it what I said before? Not what you said. What I didn't say. What you didn't say? I knew. What? Oh. I've known cosplayers. I can recognize a good wig. You knew? Yes. I wouldn't have had the courage to keep talking to you otherwise. The best friendships I ever had were the ones with a built-in expiration date. Yeah. Okay. I think I get it now. All Tuan saw in her eyes was betrayal. Hmm? Ooh, sorry about that. I had to close the window. Is that what I am to you? A girl with an expiration date? It's not you, it's me. I'm so used to people being transient in my life. It wasn't so scary to talk to you if... I'm sorry. I brought you here because I wanted to feel normal for just one night. I wanted that too. To leave everything behind and feel normal, even if only for a few hours. And I did. Thank you. Hannah. Tuan felt them teetering on the brink of something. What was she feeling? The same dread? The same longing? Come on. Tuan felt Hannah shaking in his arms, hot tears soaking through the fabric of his shirt. But not just her tears. He realized he was crying with her. Tuan wished a train would pull up to the platform to whisk them away, so they'd never have to return home. He knew Hannah felt the same way. But that's not how life worked. Are you ready? As long as it's with you. Just don't let go. Hannah's fingers dug into his skin in the first terrifying seconds. You couldn't blame her. Upside down, falling like a rock towards the center of Melbourne, Tuan saw something new in Hannah's eyes. It seemed as though the wind had stolen their words, leaving only silence. Yes! Yes! They walked in lockstep, each dragging their feet. I don't think we can walk any slower. Try me. I can do this all day. You came out tonight looking for something very specific. Yeah. I'm not sure that's me. I think it might be. But if not, I guess I'm okay with that too. Aww. Stop it. Aw. At first glance, Tuan had thought the shelves of jars was just thrown together afterthoughts, nothing more than a forgotten mess. But now he realized that each jar seemed perfectly made for its contents, as if they were made for each other. Hannah seemed far away, perhaps also thinking of the jars. Or perhaps something else. Perhaps of something else entirely. You think I'm carrying around a lot of pain, don't you? Hard not to after all this. But it's not you. I've been thinking about myself. Oh, the side story is so cute! The side story is so cute! I assumed you were carrying a lot of pain, not because you did anything to make me think that. It's just easier to cope when I assume everyone else is going through the same stuff I am. That said, I reckon I figured something out about you. You like me. No way, I thought this hand-holding business was strictly platonic. I want my money back! I just gave you a new piece of information, you dingus. What, did you expect me to do some flowery I like you anyway speech? Because that's really not my thing. You've got baggage. That's part of who I am. That you don't get to pick and choose. And that's okay. I like you. I like all of you, Hannah. Every little thing that's ever happened to you has shaped you into the person standing next to me. And I really, really like that person. You're right. I don't get to pick and choose. So when I say I like all of you, I want you to know I mean it. You're not the first person who's ever told me something like that before. But you're the first person I believed. Oh, that's that's Hannah. Oops. The worst way to lie to someone is to tell them what you think they want to hear. Yeah, you get it. Yes! They held hands! Yes! This side story is so cute! I want to know what happens to them! Well, it's time for them to go. You ready to do this? I'm ready, as long as you're doing it with me. Then don't let go. Aww! I want to know what happens. Tuan waited for the moment he knew was coming, for Hannah's form to fade, as all spirits did upon leaving the terminal. But the moment never came, and there she was, on the other side, with her white fingers intertwined with his. Are you?
I'm still here.
I go in for my last round of chemo tomorrow. So are you gonna hurry up and kiss me already? Yes! 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 Also, I like that she's taller than him. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I want to know what happens more. Very good side story. That's it! No! I want to know more! That's it! That's it! Are they still here? They're not still- No! They're not still here! That side story was so cute! That side story was so cute. But alright. As much as I want to continue, it does feel like my throat is going to, like, die. So I will end the stream here, even though it is around pretty early. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. If you'd like, come join the Discord server. We have fun here, I swear. If you want to see my art, or other people's art, come look at my Twitter. I also announce when I do streams and what the streams will be. And if you want to watch past streams, come look at the YouTubes. I will update that sometime this week. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!